All right, for everybody that's concerned about me and my well-being, I just want to start off this video by saying to Lola Strange, I want to thank you for your contribution, for the money that you sent. The help that I need is spiritual, though. Um, it's funny, this guy's actually wearing a shirt saying "Ask God." With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and break down exactly what's happening. In Malibu are three very, very evil people who have a designated house where they sacrifice people in that wanted to, in the astral plane, turn me into a sacrifice. No. Okay, so I'm going to just do the mango lemonade, large. Which one better? All right, even my spirit guys are saying it's way too much. With that being said, let me go ahead and start off by saying that I'm under what you call a sacrifice curse. The way this all started is three evil people from Malibu, Nicholas Bearden, Barbara Rayner, and David Rayner. Their real names are, Yono Occalas, or it's actually Nini Occalas and Fred Occalas. They made soul contracts unfairly with a higher self that was a child at the time, a baby, and didn't know any better. With that being said, these are some really evil ass fucking people. The way they set up their soul contracts are even fucking evil, because in their soul contracts they'll say, basically, they're not even offering you anything. They're not even doing a massage of offering you anything. They'll say that we take whatever you got, and the minute you shut down the soul contract, we keep whatever you have. With that being said, these evil motherfuckers will then take your higher self, put them in the hell realm, so that your consciousness is stuck in the hell realm. And then from there, connect their higher or highest selves, like in my case, or their soul consciousnesses to you, so that really their soul consciousness, they connect themselves to you, so that, I think it's their soul consciousness. It's their soul consciousness, so that they can be able to feed off of you and funnel whatever it is that they want from you, your blessings, your spiritual abilities, your timelines, anything that they could get. And they're extremely avaricious, and they're extremely demonic and motherfucking cruel. I can't tell you how many times I've come close to escaping this soul contract, and next thing I know, I get reeled back in and pulled right back under. The second soul contract that was illicitly made with these three evil ass motherfucking people that need to be wiped off the motherfucking map. I'm gonna go ahead and talk about how to kill them. According to their soul contract with their Roach attachments, these are not ordinary Roach attachments. These are something from like the hellish realms and the astral plane. I was looking at some of it yesterday. One of them has Nosferatu, David Rayner, aka some Occalas, Fred Occalas. The other one, I saw that he worked on 1245 or something, Lipton Drive or something. He works there. I gotta get the exact approximate address, 1745. I'm just, at this fucking point, I need to get spiritual, and I need to have. The only way to shut these type of fucking people down is it's kind of like somebody who's being hunted and they're by themselves and they don't have any spiritual guidance, any spiritual help whatsoever. So it's important to keep eyes on you. Just like I used to do back in the day when I used to report on the cops and all that stupid dumb shit. That's fucking bullshit compared to what I'm dealing with. This is hell. They got me living in hell every single fucking day with their roach attachments. And these are not ordinary roach attachments. I'm going to go ahead and explain to you in a depiction how they look and how to defeat these things. Regular roach attachments. We all have roach attachments in us, as a matter of fact. They have your ancestors in like what appears to me like go-karts. Roach attachments they fuck with are extremely sensitive because they have people in them with their own consciousnesses. With that being said, second soul contract that got illicitly extracted from me was a soul contract where it had in it, all right, at the time, wasn't even aware of it too, because at the time I actually, well, let me go ahead and go into deep and just talk about it. I wanted to make, or I thought back in 2004, I was making a deal with the devil. I'm going to tell you how evil this fucking curse is. It's evil. This is evil, and it's extremely highly complex to be able to get away from. You have to change spirit guides and every fucking thing to be able to get away from it. And you have to start having a technical knowledge of the astral plane to be able to get yourself out of it. With that being said, I thought back in 2014, I thought I was signing the soul contract with the devil. 2015, actually, 2016. Turns out, when I looked at it, it said deceptively that I made a soul contract with those people. And I never made a soul contract with those people in my motherfucking life. One of my higher selves at the time looked at it and was like, nah, this ain't it. So he tore it up. He took care of it. Let me stop. These fucking entities are fucking with my head right now as I tell you all this. So with that being said, I got something following me right now. He wasn't really meant to be a higher self. Let me go ahead and clarify that. But he was somebody that my ancestors actually paid to try to help me escape this curse as much as they possibly can. So with that being said, there was I'm trying to remember a third soul contract, but I don't quite recall. All right, with that being said, I'm going to tell you how evil and fucking fucked up this curse runs deep. I'm going to do a longer video talking about it. These evil motherfuckers inserted these roach attachments in me. The very sentinent ones with people in them. What you have to do is you got to move your hand like this to shut them down. There's also a frequency, I'm going to discuss it later on, which you can use to shut them down, that are extremely sentinent, that were used and designed to bully me into a curse. They put two entities in me. One was called, I call them red rosies, but they're really sacrificial sacrifice angels. Then the second one are what you call consciousness eaters, and they look like this. They're very evil beings that are hell-bent on your destruction and ruin. They make it extremely hard for you to escape and evade a soul contract. So with that being said, I've been doing a lot of work with my spirit guides because this is a very intricate fucking curse to escape this curse. I'll give you an example of how fucked up it is. Now, in the astral plane, you have what they call washes. One of my favorite spirit guides, one of my best spirit guides who arrived and died, got put through it. That affected my consciousness. The purpose behind that was to separate me as much from my timelines and my blessings and spiritual powers and my identity as possible so these energy vampires, which is what they are, can get them. With that being said, this is an extremely evil this is a hellish curse to put on somebody. These things will trick and deceive you if you're trying to fight them off, where they'll have you fight yourself by creating copies of your spirit guides, putting them in hell realms, making copies of your consciousness. These things are extremely fucking evil. I've been trying to figure out how to get rid of these things permanently. From the astral plane, from wherever. With that being said, it goes deep. One of my spirit guides today was showing me how this curse got set up. Those three evil people I named, Nicholas, Bearden, Yon Occalas, or some Occalas, Nini Occalas. I was showing a DeAndre or something, but it's really Nini. She used to be a nurse. Alone with another person, Fred Occalas, aka David Rayner. This is how evil this shit is. All right. She was showing me how the curse was set up. Before I begin and get to that, let me go ahead and explain from the get-go how this shit's set up. What these evil motherfuckers did, in the back of your head, you have entities that control your consciousness. They look like flying saucers, I'll show you a picture. It looks a lot like that. It looks just like that. With that being said, what these people do, what they did was, after I signed inadvertently the soul contract with them, which I thought I was signing with Satan, when I read the soul contract, it was showing that I'm supposedly the property of them, of the Reese or something corporation in the astral plane. That's what I was shown. With that being said, I keep hearing these things trying to manipulate me, trying to manipulate what I say, just manipulating my intuition, my perception across the board. After signing the soul contract inadvertently and without my permission pretty much, there was a very nice guy who I used to see. Sir, do you need any help? Do you need any help? A what? A Rua? Okay. You're welcome. You have a nice day. Yeah, so the way it's set up is, there was a very nice guy who I used to see as a client back in the day. He was a white guy, and he looked just like this dude right here. Very nice man, really, really nice man. And this man, who I used to see, he was very spiritual, incredibly down to earth. What these evil motherfuckers did at the time was, and around that time was when I started losing my apartment. I ended up in homeless shelters as well, straight in homeless shelters, which I'm in to this day. They took his entity attachment that looks like a man called something Alex Nacimiento. That's what I saw. And put it in the back of my head. Who was made to be a very evil entity. And I figured that out in the astral plane. I was unplugging his cord to his subconscious, and I noticed that it would stop him from coming in. I'm going to tell you how to defeat these people. It's very, very easy. And the only way you can kill these people, even their roach attachments, call them hosts. So you have to kill the host to kill them. You have to cut that thing in the back of their consciousness. Again, I'm going to show you. But before then, unplug their subconscious, as well as their consciousness, which is right in the center of their head, so that you can be able to end the curse and be able to move freely. Because I'm going to tell you something. These people's higher selves, I don't know what it is about their higher selves, and their higher self are extremely ravenous and cruel. One of them, there was supposed to be David Rayner's higher self, and I believe that was the name of that client. I checked in the astral plane, and that was supposedly the name of the client. I'm not too sure. My third eye, my perception is off. I don't know. But that was his higher self, supposedly, his higher self. And that was the entity attachment. He was sick on people to steal people's spiritual abilities and blessings and then kill them in the astral plane. Like I said, I've been trying to figure out what is it about their higher selves that makes them extremely ravenous, because when you remove them, they keep coming back and they keep coming back. Again, it's an extremely evil fucking curse, and their higher selves are like fucking, I'm not going to say a fucking roach, they like fucking straight up animals. You unplug them, you remove them, then they're like animals. They'll keep saying, that's mine, that's mine. They'll keep grabbing shit off of you in the astral plane like a motherfucking dog and shit, saying, that's mine, that belongs to me, that's not yours, that's mine. I'm going to take this, I'm going to take that. They have an I'm going to take from you mentality. They're extremely ravenous and cruel. And every time I get rid of them, my ancestors work to get rid of them and so forth, they come and constantly rob me of my stuff and steal from me. They got me down to where I'm nothing more than my soul consciousness, and barely even that. And they robbed me of one of my main consciousness the other day. Like I say, there's an extremely confusing curse. It's like invasion of the body snatchers, and that they'll create entity attachments or roach attachments of your spirit guides to steal from you and everything. Now, from what I'm understanding, and this jives with what I'm about to talk about in another video, there's actually a network of people who are involved, celebrities. There's 3 celebrities I know of, actually quite possibly 4, that are involved, that have labeled me as a sacrifice. Now, in this video, I'm not going to go into detail as to what they sacrifice you to. But what these motherfuckers did was, all right, not only did David Rayner steal that guy's entity attachment and somehow tied it to me. I don't know how the fuck that works. And made himself my higher self. He started treating me as a sacrifice and giving away my blessings, my spiritual powers and abilities to other people. Like he has authority over my shit, and he doesn't. I mean, because I'm going to tell you something right now, this curse got out of fucking hand. One of the things they intended for me to do was to shut me down and keep me from talking about it. I would say something right now. They put an entity attachment of a man that was stuck in the hell realm who was extremely evil and diabolical while he was alive. His name is Seamus Anderson, who was basically designed to possess me and keep me entrapped to the curse. And I feel him using my soul consciousness to reach into it right now and grab stuff out of me and start just throwing it to other people, throwing it to other entities in the spirit world in an attempt to intimidate me into becoming silent. This is evil. This is very fucking evil. With that being said, the way this curse works is that's an evil motherfucker. He was doing shit that, I would hear from my spirit guides that he would be attacking people at night. When I was asleep, he would try to help. I would have spirit guides say that they would hear me crying in my sleep and all of that. So with that being said, it's a network of people, from what I understand, who paid these people, in addition to they themselves, to sacrifice me. One of the people that's supposed to benefit from the sacrifice is Madonna. I'm going to show you some pictures of her with her son, especially when he was young. I'm going to tell you something right now. She molested them little, look, from what I was told, from what I heard in the spirit plane, she throws them two little African girls in closets and tortures them and mistreats them to filth. She's an energy vampire towards black people. She'll try to rob you in the astral plane of your consciousness, your blessings, and your spiritual abilities. But then she'll treat your ancestors very, very well as a way to whatchamacallit them to, I'm trying to think of that word. Now they fucking with my memories right now. Like I said, I'm barely my soul consciousness as I talk. As a way to charm them into getting close to you so she could steal your shit. She was one of the people. Oh, another thing I wanted to mention before I get on that is she molested that boy. His name is Vanda. His ancestors actually came to protect me one night. She's a major energy vampire when it comes down to black people and I believe Latins as well. This bitch in the astral plane has been extremely, extremely vicious about, like, see, in the astral plane, we're connected to motherboards and all of that. I talked about how, just like in the Matrix, as shown in the Matrix, we're all connected to machines. Her higher self is an extremely sadistic motherfucker who won't stop connecting to you through soul ties and all of that in the astral plane so she could get what she wants out of you. Madonna is a major energy vampire. That's why she stayed reinventing herself and stayed relevant for years up until now. I'm not going to tell you who she's under now, but bitch ain't going anywhere for a reason. With that being said, because this is a very fucking sadistic curse. This is extremely fucking evil. I'm just gonna say it like this. They had me stuck in the realm of the fucking devil. So that I can, in the worst possible way you can imagine, so I can be energy vampired off of, have my spiritual abilities constantly fleeced and taken, having my blessings stolen and so forth and so on. And it caused me to actually feel it as well by opening my consciousness with them consciousness eaters, the entities in the astral plane, so that I ultimately commit suicide and become a physical sacrifice for them. That's how serious this shit is. As a matter of fact, they just got some entities. Like, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but I used to talk about on this YouTube channel. Remember how I used to talk about duality? We're created from both the primordial darkness and the primordial light. Let me even try it. And they're calling entities that rule the primordial darkness to come and try to shut me down. They'll wipe away your memory and so forth and so on. And these entities have been placed in these very evil fucking people in charge of my consciousness and in charge of me. So I've been having to fight that on another end. Now, with that being said, because I can't keep this to myself. I cannot keep this to myself. It's been getting better, but as it gets better, it's just been getting worse. Through their Roach attachments, they make it more confusing. Now, with that being said, she molests that boy Banda. She's a huge energy vampire of black people. That bitch made a soul contract, from what I understand, with the Rainers, aka the Occalas. It's supposed to be like a big thing in Malibu, to siphon me of my blessings and spiritual powers and abilities. Just like the Occalas did with one of my unfortunate, ignorant higher selves. She instituted herself at one point, just this week, as one of my higher selves, so that she could take advantage, steal from me constantly. This is a bitch that's worth $300 million. I'm going to tell you something right now. I did a video on Saturday. I was told not to put it out there, in which I talk about how celebrities really steal from ordinary fucking people. And you don't even know it. What I'm going through is symptomatic of what they do in the spiritual plane. Not in the physical as much, but the spiritual, to steal from me. I'm going to say it right now. I find this video very, very therapeutic, because these things they've been fucking with my consciousness, my astral body, my astral self. It's all fucked up. I can hear them in the astral plane. There's special entity attachments that's indigenous to you that you have. That not intimidated, they just removed it. They just removed it. They're removing it right now to intimidate me, so I can look schizophrenic as I'm talking with you. And they're using an entity attachment, or quite possibly one of my old spirit guides, to be able to do it. But I'm going to tell you something. Like Tesla taught, like a bunch of really, really smart people have taught, especially the real Jesus Christ. Giannis, I believe his name was. You don't have to be stuck. I think it's Yahshua, Giannis, or some shit like that. Yahshua. You don't have to be stuck. All sorts of shit you can use to be able to break free of this shit on your own. Even if your spirit guides and your higher selves are completely compromised, as is the case with me. Now they're trying to intimidate me into silence the minute I mention that. All right, so with that being said, let me go ahead and try to recap as to what I was talking about. Because I got disgusted with somebody bothering, pestering me about, one of the first curses I had purveyed on me was by Baron Samedi condemning me to being an escort, a prostitute, for years. And one good thing about him is he made sure that I never lacked and I wasn't homeless on the fucking streets like these three evil ass crackers are. So anyways, with that being said, Madonna is a major energy vampire. A huge energy vampire. A huge energy vampire. I mean, yes, Madonna. She's a huge energy vampire. Very, very huge. And she a lot of what I have to share is deep. It's really, really deep, but this bitch has been trying to make me her higher self. She did something where her and the Occalas, again, in the physical plane, she made a soul contract purportedly with these three people to make me a sacrifice for her. So she could steal what little bit of blessings and stuff that I had coming. That's how she's able to remain relevant and reinvent herself. With that being said, once you sign a soul contract with these evil motherfuckers, Yeah, man, I hate this fucking entity. It's causing me to do shit that I shouldn't be doing. This is evil. This is pure fucking evil. They're trying to fucking ruin my entire fucking motherboard connection to God. Various goddesses, gods I'm connected to, and so forth and so on. I'm being tormented like a motherfucker by these evil ass things. I'm being tormented like a motherfucker by these evil ass things. And that fucking Seamus entity is extremely evil and sadistic. They place 2 roach attachments. They usually function where my nose is, but they've been able to spread their consciousness, I believe, or they themselves all over. Oh God. They get put in the wash, they call it in the spirit plane. It's what people call a reincarnation matrix trap, so that they forget who they are, forget their identities, and try to take over me, my body, and keep me stuck to this curse. All right. When I was just mentioning that evil motherfucker, my soul consciousness almost came out of my body. That's the scariest motherfucking thing. I actually even tried. They're both not in the back of my mouth right here. They initially entered the nasal cavity. I have been trying to help them get to better realms, and they ain't even want to take it. My poor dad, in the timeline where he was very sadistic and evil, was, he took it, and I put him into a better, realm. They snatched him and that Seamus guy again after they got exonerated from their grasp. It's Nicholas Bearden. That's Native American. Looks like this. He's a Native American in Malibu. His consciousness houses Seamus as well as my dad in another timeline where he was a deadbeat dad and a horrible fucking cop. And none of them deserve what happened to him, none of them. But when I freed both of them, they snatched him up, placed my dad, was dealing like blacks, a very terrible hell realm, and had Seamus ruling the hell realm, where it was right above my subconscious right here, right in the back of my head. Where, before he was a giant cockroach, but now they converted him into like half person, half roach. He was a nasty, ugly ass fucking seaman when he lived. And they have people with giant fucking roaches on top of them. It's a horrible hell realm. I saw it, and these people are fucking evil. They're like ravenous fucking animals. Madonna is, to her highest self, is a ravenous fucking animal. Looks just like her and everything. Very ravenous, evil, shallow, narcissistic animal in the spiritual plane. And you gotta to be worth $300 million fucking dollars, but yet want to steal the blessings of somebody who's already fucking homeless and ain't got it. The weaknesses are if you attack a daughter. She loves her daughter more than she loves her son, her biological son, Rocket. She loves that girl more than anything. But from what I heard from the little African girls, they were telling me that she is an extremely, trying to remember exactly. Oh, they were telling me that they get beaten, they get thrown into closets, they get starved, they're forced to eat barely enough vegan food. While she be fucking drinking and carousing. I even saw a side of her in the astral plane talking about, I need some Chardonnay, I need some Chardonnay, I need some Chardonnay. That bitch is full of fucking roach attachments, and she drinks like a motherfucking fish. She a major drug addict. Major fucking drug addict. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. I feel so fucking good talking about this. I feel free talking about this. I'm no longer living in fear and being intimidated by these evil spirits. When you hear poor so-called schizophrenic people talking about these things, a lot of times they have a hard time talking about it because these things will sadistically swear you to silence. Because they don't like any evil entity out there, like to be exposed. Now, getting back to what I was saying, Baron Samedi. He was one of the first to put this curse on. I got offered up to him, and I'm part of his bloodline as well as a sacrifice. He put that sacrifice label on me. Usually if somebody wants to label you a sacrifice, they'll put it on your forehead. In the case of the Rainas, they even fucking branded it last night when I was attempted to do something. Pretty much I talked about in the past vlog, I talked about writing books in the astral plane. How you doing, sir? Talked about writing books. That's all you have to do in the astral plane, really. Just write a book talking about, I want this person to go away, I want, but they can override it. Again, these consciousness eaters are connected to these people. So they can hear what you're saying and hear your thoughts and everything. It's like you can't even plan tactical shit with yourself because they're allowing these interlopers, again, through a native entity attachment, to hear what you're saying. And to these things are trying to take away my soul consciousness and manipulate this is evil, man. They've done taken every fucking thing away from me. Also, they can give a sacrifice, the spirit plane. One thing about Baron Samedi is he took away my biggest blessings, granted, but he made sure I never lacked. That's one good thing about him. He made sure I never lacked. But I'm going to go ahead and say this. Supposedly, from what I understand, the Rainas stole a soul piece of mine from him, which he was using to keep a stronghold over my soul until I died. From there, I'm getting different reports. Nobody could find me in the astral plane. Nobody could find where I'm at. Some people were saying that they did a soul contract with him. Anyways, I'm getting different reports on what happened. I don't know. That being said, all I know is that they stole a soul piece of mine that was formerly in his possession. That's just too fucking. Then I talk about something in the astral plane, these things are ready to fucking jump on me and attack me. And I can feel it. I can physically feel it. Now, with that being said, he was one of the first ones to set me up in the Roach realm, but not sadistically like what's happening with me. Alright, so with that being said, this is a horrible ass place. These things are fucking with my ass viciously as I talk about them. So he was the first person to put me in the Roach rounds, but he didn't put me in the sadistic part like these two evil motherfuckers did. Very fucked up part. With that being said, they set me up to be a sacrifice. Just like how Baron Samedi set me up to do escorting and porn and took away one of my better timelines, best timelines, where I could have been in movies and TV and everything. Totally fucked that up and had me be a nasty ass escort prostitute for years. I hated it. I'm not gonna fucking lie. I hated it with a passion. It's not me. It's not who I am. And it's so funny too because right before doing this video, I actually had to remove that curse from my forehead. It does something where it affects your consciousness or something. You know, it's real weird how the astral plane works. But anyways, while I was doing that, I had some motherfuckers, Mexican, black dudes possessing. I can tell possession when I see it from a mile away, who are influenced by these people, contact me to do that nasty ass shit. I can't stand it. I hate doing it. Don't like doing it. I had to cut somebody out just now. A couple of about 30 minutes ago, coming to me with that nasty ass shit. They started to possess these things that's around me. Saw a tornado coming from over there. With that being said, these motherfuckers think they still own me. They don't. You know, thankfully, I had some very powerful spirit guides, higher selves, very powerful people come together in the spirit plane to eradicate the soul contracts and free me from this. Because these motherfuckers are devils. Their fucking roach attachments are devils. They do all sorts of fucking trickery to rope your ass into your fucking head, making it a hellhole to live in, torturing you, you know, by playing. It's not even tricks of the mind. They'll take your consciousness literally, put it in somebody else. You gotta fucking get it from that other fucking person. With that being said, they offer me these assholes who in the spirit plane illicitly became my higher selves. My higher selves took to basically loop. These motherfuckers are just like in the spirit plane. The Occalas. I heard that they started looking like they biracial, go around and steal soul contracts with people. The Occalas and the other motherfucker. Nini Occalas and Fred Occalas will do like what you see those people on YouTube do, and they will loot the living fuck out of your ass until you have nothing left. And again, they use those two entities to do it. They use what they call sacrifice angels, and then they use what they call consciousness eaters to rob you of every fucking thing that you got blind. And since I'm in my soul consciousness right now, that's exactly what happened. And usually those are entity attachments that's comprised of long ago ancestors and higher selves placed in hellish realms. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but they tried to, shit. Look at schizophrenic and every fucking thing up. They actually tried to rope me out of a major blessing. They've been stealing timelines from my next incarnation and so forth. A major blessing from my next timeline. So anyways, with that being said, from what I'm hearing in the astral plane, at least 3 celebrities that I know of were able to sign soul contracts with these people and siphon off them. And I mentioned one of them in the post in which I was talking about the child stuff and child porn that they got going up there in Malibu. One is named Tim Burton. I can't stand that motherfucking kike. He's an evil ass fucking kike. Very, very narcissistic, very, very shallow. Likes to rape women from what I understand. He got 2 kids, that's his love. he was one of the people who made a soul agreement with the Rainas to be able to steal my blessings and spirits. Yesterday, a roach attachment of his, which got planted in my side of the astral plane. You know, we have a motherboard that represents our part of the astral plane. His roach attachment kept trying to take my consciousness. I know that sounds funny, but it's literally a physical thing in the astral plane. And I kept hearing him say, that's mine, that's mine. And basically, the way this curse works is they insert people who want you as a sacrifice into your consciousness so that they can become your higher selves, intertwine themselves into your bloodline and so forth and so on, so that you can never escape the curse and never leave the curse. And that's exactly what's happening with me. They do double binds where they get you caught up thinking that one of their people is their soul guides, is your soul guide. There was a lady on the PCH. Her higher self was a very evil motherfucker who I long suspected was involved in human trafficking, the homeless people out there. I never liked that woman. There was just something about that woman I never motherfucking liked. She was one of the people placed as my highest self. And she was a very evil motherfucker. I never liked this bitch. She's a fruit vendor.